Up to this point, all these protesters and demonstrators, they had their way on the Dan Ryan Expressway, and now they're following the direction to go ahead and get on off.
Yeah,
that is exactly what Father Pfleger wanted them to do, too.
Yes, he had the plan. It was always from 79th to 67th, and here we are at 67th Street. And you see the Dan Ryan Expressway there still massively blocked off by Illinois Department of Transportation vehicles and police bike blockades there as well, and you can see all of those protesters from the ground. This is a shot at the end. This is a shot as these protesters are walking at the end through the off-ramp at 67th Street, and a feeling of jubilation and people celebrating and people happy at the end because they got what they originally wanted, which was to shut down the Dan Ryan Expressway and to bring a massive amount of attention to the cause that they are marching for, which is the south and west sides of Chicago, to reduce violence in those areas, for more economic development, for potentially a person that the city and state work with to make a full-time job of asking and going out for economic development on the south and west sides of the city. And you're seeing all of these protesters finally getting off.
Let's go ahead and find out what's happening right now on the ground. Diane Pathu has been out there all morning long. Diane, where are you and how is it looking right now?
Okay, so you're not going to see me because I'm right behind the camera, but we're right at 67th and let's see, yeah, right around Marquette and State. We're getting off on 67th here. This is the end of the line. This is the end of the march, the protest. I need to tell you what happened at the end, though. So as everybody was walking off the on-ramp, there was a huge group of Chicago police officers and some members of Illinois State Police, just tons of authorities there. And everyone, as they were walking off the ramp, stopped and clapped and yelled thank you to all the police officers. So there was this moment of mutual respect. The protesters said thank you to the police officers, clapped for them, said that we appreciate you, and then the officers waved and clapped back. So that was a really cool moment at the end of this very long day for these protesters. I mean, they've been standing around for a very, very long time under the hot sun in order to get their point across. And their point, of course, is basically economic development, jobs, no more gun violence, common sense gun laws, all on the south and west sides, the high crime areas of Chicago. They're fighting for justice in their communities, for an opportunity, they tell me, for their kids to go out and play without being in harm's way. We're still sort of moving off the expressway here, so bear with us as we make our way safely off the expressway. But really, truly, it's been such a moment of peace and serenity and solidarity with all these members of the community. So many people from different neighborhoods, so many people from different age groups, nationalities, all different people from all walks of life have been here today trying to get this message across and really try and come together. And of course, you know, Superintendent Eddie Johnson was here the entire time, obviously along with all the different police officers and Illinois State Police officers as well. So there was that moment too where you saw him getting very much involved with Father Pfleger and creating the shutdown of the expressway, which is what Father Pfleger wanted from the beginning. It wasn't this, well, we'll give you 2 lanes, you know, if we can create this barrier. Father Pfleger was like, no, we came here to shut it down and we're going to shut it down, and that's exactly what they did. So there's this sense of pride now among every single one of these protesters. All of them just feel so empowered that they were able to complete the task to actually shut down the Dan Ryan Expressway, the busiest expressway in our area, period. I mean, it caused a lot of havoc as far as the traffic is concerned, and that's exactly what they wanted to do. They wanted to shake things up, they wanted to draw attention to their cause, and they wanted to make sure that their point was delivered across all levels of people, all kinds of people watching or experiencing maybe on the road or driving by or maybe just seeing it on social media. They wanted to make sure that their voices were heard, and they feel very much like their mission was accomplished today.
Diane, one of the things I wanted to ask you too, I know you addressed this earlier, but overall, with so many people involved, a standoff face-to-face between demonstrators and police, overall this has remained entirely peaceful.
I would say so, Stacy. You know, obviously you and I have covered a lot of different protests that can end up either way, but this one, they promised from the beginning that this was going to be peaceful. That was their entire intent. Even though there was a little back and forth with authorities, they fully intended to cooperate and be peaceful, but they were determined to shut down the expressway.
Hey, if you like that video, be sure to subscribe to our ABC7 Chicago YouTube channel.